Righto team. We've got three very, very astute gentlemen, so we're going to have to get into our work here to get through in under an hour. We want to start at Te Rapa. Race number 4, Steve, the Wig, Noel Wilson Memorial Mile. He's a bit of a legend Wig by all accounts. A story about a Shetland pony I read this morning. You can find that online, but run us through this market.
Yeah, so Osaka, I believe is $3.80. Just update graphically. You see $3.60 there, but Osaka $3.80. Germanicus, Red Hussar $5 each of 2. Sheriff $5.50. Time to Celebrate $8.50. On the Rocks, well played. Double figures on Wednesday. Now trading single figures at $9. Masetto at $11. Raposa Repeater stepping up to the mile for the first time at $16 this prep, and Champagne Princess, the ranky, at $21. So no strong lead. As I mentioned, a firm around number 1 on the Rocks, but Osaka heads the market at 3.8.
Yeah, okay, just eased ever so slightly. BP out to 3.8. Osaka, third up, was running on strongly last time, but it is a competitive mile here.
It is, and I'm pretty keen to leverage off that Easter handicap form that we see with both Osaka and Red Hussar. Both those horses ran well in that race. You know, remember, big field, a lot of horses that were spread across the track in that race out of Pukekohe. And both these runners were very good through the line. Osaka was running 6, was beaten just under the 3 lengths off the impressive winner in Carolina Reaper. And Red Hussar was working home from back in the field, beaten around 4 lengths into 8th position. They were both really encouraging runs. Red Hussar, I've sort of been with him the last couple of starts, just been waiting for him to find that form that he was in practically 12 months ago when he led up to a run in the Easter handicap on off ground. He has won a race here out of Te Rapa, and he gets a kilo off with an informed Joe Cameroon. So I thought he presented as a nice play in the race. I mean, Germanicus is a horse who, look, put in the performance 2 starts ago, which does look to be obviously a key guide with the Brando reference. Then had a crack at the Easter handicap last time to the races and was beaten around the 7-length margin. He also operates well here at this venue, and I think he has to be respected. And it's interesting to see that money around on the Rocks. We saw that victory for him a couple of starts ago to get back into that winning groove, and they do see some weight relief around this horse. Maria Sanson claiming the 4 kilograms on the Rocks. But yeah, I was looking towards the bottom here. Numbers 7 and 8 is strong chances.
Yeah, okay. Aidan, are you with that Easter handicap form? Is that where you're sort of heading in this open mile?
Yeah, absolutely. But because the ratings change here, like on the Rocks now up to be top weight and goes up, 3 kilograms even after that 4 kilogram claim, where horses down the bottom, the Osakas and Red Hussars, aren't having to go up so far. So they're coming in that much better at the weights. Both their performances seem superior than those horses who are, in behind the Germanicuses and the on the Rock. So I thought Osaka, third up, here's a horse who's won 3 or 5, Te Rapa, Michael McNabb doing the riding. There's just a lot of upside around Osaka, and that was the horse I was with.
Yeah, look, an impressive run. Where do you play Sheriff, Aidan? Just an interesting runner coming from another angle, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got to take a line through the Rotorua race, which was the race that On the Rocks won. So, there's a swing there as well, weight-wise towards Sheriff, but only marginally. I think Sheriff's got to improve. Personally, the win a couple of starts back was okay. Was on here going. This is going to be a lot firmer at Te Rapa this weekend.
Okay, how did you frame this market, Steve? What were your initial thoughts here?
Yeah, similar to how the lads have framed it or spoken about coming out of the Easter. I think it's the key form line. Osaka, Red Hussar, they both found themselves in the back third in the Easter off a small or lightweight, both those individuals. Running home comparable closing sectionals. I could make a case Red Hussar could have finished in front of Osaka. In the last 75, Red Hussar got held up. But there would have been not too much between them. I'm not saying he definitely would have finished. She definitely would have finished in front of Osaka. As Aidan mentioned, better in the weights versus Germanicus and also on the Rocks. I think the key around Osaka is back left-handed also. All 5 wins have been left-handed. So I think that's a key variable just to take on with Osaka. Just on Stephen Marsh, last 6 winners, or last 25 runners, 6 winners at 24%. So again, a stable that's in a little bit of a purple patch of form. Obviously, he's the trainer of Osaka here. Raposa Repeater is an interesting runner. You rewind the clock all the way back. First up this preparation, he won the Legacy Lodge Sprint at Te Rapa, beating horses like the Masker Ponies and Rockin' Horses. I know it was over a 1,200-metre trip, and he's at 1,600 today or Saturday. He's at $16. What do you do with Raposa Repeater, gents? Firstly, to you, BP, on that first up performance, he'd be right in this, even though he's stepping up in trip for the very first time. Is this a desperate measure, going over 1,600, or is this what this horse is crying out for to get his campaign back on track?
I mean, look, it's start 41 and it's his very first run over 1,600 metres. So, look, it's an interesting ploy, isn't it? I mean, if it was a horse that were destined to be running over 1,600 metres, it would have happened a lot earlier. It would have probably happened 2 years ago, to be honest with you. So, he's just trying to recapture that form. He's trying to find that form, and I think I mentioned it to Stephen Marsh when we interviewed him last week. If he can find anywhere close to that form, he's beaten behind 2 horses that won Group 1s this season. He beat Group 1 horses in the Legacy Lodge in Mascarpone and Rockin' Horse. I just think he's in a bad spot in the weights, and in 1,600 metres, he's just too many red flags, isn't there, for Raposa Repeater, hence why he's at a price of $16. I just keep coming back to Red Hussar and Osaka. I'm pretty keen just to back them both here. I know, look, it's only a field of 9 horses, but with where they sit in the market, one's at $3.50, $3.80, and the other's at $5. I was happy to split bet those 2 horses.
Okay, BP with Osaka, Red Hussar. Any Raposa Repeater love, A-Rod?
You've got to turn the tables 5 lengths on time to break. That's the point. I'm the same with BP, with just thoughts around time to celebrate getting handy in this race. The run last time out was meritorious, and the speed comes from Massetto. It was only beaten half a length in that Group 2 total stakes behind Gino Severini a couple of starts back. So it depends on how this is run, but you'd maybe just consider that as being the variable against those horses that are bringing the superior Easter form.
Okay, where'd you settle then, Aidan, when in the final wash-up here?
Yeah, I was with Osaka. On top, clearly enough for me.
Yeah, okay. So BP and Aidan lining up here. Germanicus, Steve, what do we do with Germanicus? I've stopped trying to catch him a while ago. He came out and won very well 2 starts ago, and the run in the Easter wasn't bad.
Again, similar to Osaka, I think he's better left-handed. All his winning form is left-handed, very right-handed, which he found himself in the Easter. Just got in a tricky position on the map in the Easter, and I'm willing to oppose him, as the boys have mentioned, is worse off in the weights. But I will say his mile was a sweet spot, and back left-handed is a positive. Okay,
you've always had a bit of time for Sheriff as well. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, look, I thought I was very disappointed last start at Rotorua. Sheriff, he's back in trip, which I will back up in trip, should I say. That was 1,400. He goes up to the mile here, so I think that's a positive around Sheriff. But yeah, he'd have to improve significantly on his last start performance. Maybe just wanting a little bit of give in the track. He's a hard horse to place. I kind of feel of his issues he's had in the last 2 to 3 years. He wants that fire out of the track, but not too heavy. Just on the track conditions at present, it's a slow 5. Not too much showers to forecast between now and race day. So hopefully we improve to maybe a soft 4 on race day.
Okay, very good. No. Okay, the boys very keen on Osaka and Red Hussar here, and particularly Osaka, the favourite in the Noel Wig Wilson Memorial Mile.